Hello and welcome to episode 19 of the AnyGamesIE podcast with myself, Dave.
And me, Gav.
Gav, we have a guest this week.
We do. Another Gav. We're up here in Home Farm this evening and we're sitting alongside the head of football here, and it's Gavin Peers. Gav, thanks for coming along.
No problem.
Appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us this evening.
I can't believe it's the 19th episode of Only On.
Yeah, you're a hard man to track down. Busy man. We will get into your role as the head of football and what that entails, but I want you to take us kind of right back to how you got into football from the early days. How did it all start out for you?
Jeez. Well, I remember starting off at Sligo Rovers. I think I probably would have been around 7 or 8, and then I remember running from my nanny's house across and up the little hill as you go into Johnstown Park, and the 11-a-side pitch was down the bottom at that time. I spent 11-a-side at 7 or 8 years of age, no, it wasn't really different back then. It was just in you go.
Yeah, just get thrown straight in.
Yeah. Played a few years there. Would have had Eugene Walsh as my manager, and then progressed on then to came out to Home Farm. Then played down here, done a few years here. I think Harry Cobb, Linda Orman, Pascal was there. Liam Toohey was the head of football.
What age were you when you first came down to Home Farm, roughly?
Probably done 2 years at Tulka, so probably 10ish.
Yeah.
Came down here, done a few years here, 2 or 3 years here. Then went to Stella Maris for a year or two, and then went over to Blackburn. Then from there, signed a professional contract from Stella.
Just before you go onto your Blackburn days, how did that come about? Like you're playing schoolboy level at Stella. What age would you have been roughly when Blackburn came looking for you?
I think I went on my first trial at 13, and nobody would like this, but it was the Rangers. Yeah, at the time, Rangers. Albert was the scout. He's with UCD now. There's a bit of scouting there for them. But he sent me over there, and to be fair, it was actually good for me because it was my first trial, and I got out of the way, the nerves and this and that in different environment. So I went over there. I think I went with Killian Brennan at the time, and then came back playing away, and went to Aston Villa then. Aston Villa, I was going there for a year or two, every school holiday.
Yeah.
And then Burnley came in, went to Burnley, and Blackburn came in, went to Blackburn. I was going back and forth. And I remember Peter Cano was my manager at Stella at the time. He was excellent. He was probably the best coach. I don't think this is probably a big statement, but if it wasn't for him, I don't think I'd have gone across, because he coached me well, things I wouldn't have learned.
And was he personable? Like he'd give you the time of day, obviously, and
he was good.
Go alongside you and just give you that bit more direction.
From what I remember, he's good with the kids, but he gave you instructions on the pitch, like turning out with the outside of your foot and you're in trouble, and overlaps and where to be. Whereas, back in the day, I was just going out and play, and that was that. We were better. Like if you were better than your team, off you go.
So be it, yeah.
But that felt like more like proper coaching.
Yeah. I remember down in Stella Maris, and we were on the pitch doing shape under probably 13s or whatever it was, and he done a drill with us outside of his foot, like it was like a zigzag thing, and it was outside inside, and we done it for weeks, and then went into shape, and in the middle of it he said, I'm running forward on the wing. I was right back, and he says, turn out, and I just stopped. I didn't know what to do because I had never done it before, but the rest of the team were used to it, and then he showed me and taught me. I remember, right, in the middle of a League of Ireland game, the year I think we won the league with Sligo, ball is played. No, sorry, it wasn't the league year, it would have been whatever year it was. Mark Quigley was chasing me, and it was a ball over the top, and I had my hand up and I used the outside hook and turned them and played the ball. As I was doing it, I'm thinking, he's taught me this at a younger age,
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's just, I suppose, they're little memories that stick in your head of everything that you've grown up in childhood and brought into football.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you're kind of going between clubs in England.
Sorry, yeah.
And you've got Aston Villa there looking at you, Burnley, Blackburn, you ultimately signed for Blackburn. How did that come about?
Yeah, it was, sorry, back to what, that's how we got talking about Peter. I remember we played a game, and after the game, Peter came to me and he said, Blackburn or Arsenal? And I went, Arsenal. And he goes, I think you should go to Blackburn.
Wrong answer.
So I went back and forth from the likes of Blackburn, Burnley, and Aston Villa, and I had contract offers from them all. A YTS contract was from Aston Villa with the last year pro, and then Blackburn and Burnley offered me 3 years pro. Now, to be fair, Burnley really pulled out the stops, and they really wanted me because at the time they were a championship and they wouldn't have had a lot of money. And to be honest, I wanted to go there because I felt that it was a better opportunity for me to get into the first team. But my mum and dad liked Blackburn, and Blackburn had won the Premier League and big players there, and it was the best academy in the UK and stuff like that. Facilities were excellent. And when you look back at it, it probably was the right move because the coaching we got, like Rob Kelly was there, and Sean Kimberley, who now is the academy manager of Galway United. So they were very good coaches at the time, and I suppose I met some good people and still stay in contact with them. Like Alex Bruce would have been my roommate at the time. I was only chatting to him the other day, and he'd link me for players over here, stuff like that. So Matt Derbyshire was another roommate of mine as well. So we've all stayed in touch, like, and we've started to come back together now, like, because we're obviously getting older now. We're looking at each other and texting about meeting up and stuff like that. So it was good. It was a good time. I had a good time there. We were looked after well, and we would have all stayed together in the chalet dormer thing.
Yeah.
A clubhouse or apartments, like 2 beds. And
what age at this stage? Like, would you have signed when about 15?
16, yeah. It was July 2022.
2002.
Sorry, yeah, 2002. 2002 to 2005, yeah. 06 then with Mansfield.
And what's it like? Are you, during those 3 years, are you playing in the reserves? Are you playing underage?
First year went over was, I think it was 17s and 19s. I think it was 17s, 19s, or else 16s, 8s. I can't remember, it was that long ago. And then, but in the second year in pre-season, I went straight down to the reserves. So we played a pre-season game against the reserves. I done well in the game, and Alzi brought me in and never looked back. And the following, my final year then, I was with the first team for the whole of pre-season. Played every pre-season game with them, like the likes of Dwight York and Andy Cole were the 2 strikers. Stephen Reid in front of me, 2 guys in the middle. Morgan Gams Pedersen, Flickcroft, Amaruso, Brad Field. Like, so you're there and you're like, right.
Yeah.
At the time, Paul Gallagher and Jay McKevely had made their debuts. Jay made his debut against United in the Cup, over the Carling Cup.
Yeah.
It was, and got man of the match. So I was in around that, and I was like, right, I'm next here, like, you know. And then that change of manager came, and that was the end of that. So
you were saying to us, actually, we had a brief conversation just before we started recording, just about that change of manager. So that was when Mark Hughes came in.
Yeah, sorry.
Was it?
Graham Souness went to Newcastle, and Mark Hughes came in then with Mark Bone.
Like, you do hear those stories a lot.
Tedeschi as well.
Yeah,
he was good. He was a good coach.
You do hear a lot. Happens to a lot of lads that go abroad where they might be mid-contract or whatever it might be, and the new manager comes in, and it's just not, you're just not getting the same vibe. You know, you're not going to get a look in. You don't suit the style of play. Do you think there was anything in particular about your game that Mark Hughes didn't fancy, or was it a thing that
I think
he had his mind, yeah,
people out and
start fresh?
That, yeah, he done that. Like, I don't really like speaking poorly about people, but it's probably one thing that'll stick in my head for the rest of my life, and it's probably how I'll always be with people, or players. When he released me, he had a blank piece of paper in front of him, as if he was reading off it, and I was sitting there at 18 years of age, and I'm just like, oh, probably say like, you shit house, like, you know.
Yeah.
But that's just the way it was.
Just the way it is, and yeah, football can be, yeah.
So then, after Blackburn,
Mansfield, came back to train with Bowes Gareth Farrell, I think it was. And then got a phone call to go to Mansfield. Had a few phone calls, but went to Mansfield. Karen Palmer. I think Karen Palmer was through Roddy Collins. Because Roddy rang me. Actually, I got the boat across and I got off the boat and I missed a voicemail from Roddy about going into Rovers. I think it was Shamrock Rovers. I think he was there at the time.
Was he? Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, I want to snap sign for Mansfield, sorry. And he goes, it's grand, I told Carton about you anyway. If you come back, give it a shout. I was like, grand. So I think Rob Kelly is related to Roddy through marriage or something like that.
Really,
so
yeah.
That's how Rob spoke to Roddy.
Roddy knows everybody though, doesn't he? He doesn't even have to be related. He's just one of those, like,
One of those characters,
walk the streets and he knows everybody.
He's a good skin. He was down doing the managing for the charity there we done there a while back for Rain.
I seen that actually, yeah. He's rocking up in the suit and all. He's good crack, isn't he?
Yeah, he had the crowd that night doing guest speaker as well. So
yeah, I always remember I was playing for Turtlestown at the time, and we were up training in IT in Blanche, and I think he was in charge of Moctus at the time. And I don't know if you know a fella called Paul McGee, Maggie. Yeah. So Maggie was their coach up at Turtlestown at the time, and he's chatting to Roddy, and I think we were doing defending corners, and I was playing centre half or whatever. And Maggie asked Roddy to come over and do a few drills. It was like, give us a few pointers, whatever it was, So Roddy comes over and he starts grabbing out me, and he's like, just hold on to him, just hold on. The way Roddy goes on, the ref's not going to say on, just hold on to him. He's giving it loads, like. And just the character just got stuck in, didn't even hesitate, just came over and just gave us a dig out. But this isn't about me, this is about Gavin Peers.
Well, when you go back to it, Roddy's always been around my life somehow, because Derek Swan, I would have grew up with young Derek. He would have been a mate of mine growing up, and Derek was playing for Bows at the time. And I was ball boy for Bows. I was in the change rooms now with Roddy. Roddy was the manager at the time, so I was sitting in the dugout as a ball boy beside Roddy. Down at Dailymount, back before it got big.
Yeah.
To be fair, the league's starting to grow now. Like the crowds are up, and obviously the wages are up for players, which is good, and they're starting to get profiles. So it won't be long now until it starts to really take off. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a massive resurgence in it now at the moment. Take us back then to Macclesfield.
Mansfield.
Oh, sorry, Mansfield. You can edit that out. Take us back to Mansfield. Sorry, I don't know where Macclesfield came from.
Mansfield, yeah. I went there. It was actually Steve Dawson was there. Stephen Dawson. He was there. Made some good friends. Okay, Reece Day was there. Good friends. Like Kevin Pressman was actually came in as the keeper. He was coming towards the end. But went over pre-season, was doing well, pulled in at the end of pre-season and just said, look, Tony, how you're still here, keep doing what you're doing, you'll be gone, there's been championship clubs on, what Onda was about you. And
what league are Mansfield in? League 2 at the time?
Yeah, I played 20 odd games, like up to Christmas. It must have been around 20 odd games up to Christmas, including cups and that. I scored twice, was doing alright. And yeah, just Carlton. I enjoyed Carlton. Carlton was a good character.
Yeah.
And then just to change the manager, then me and him didn't get on. Clashed. He didn't like me. I probably didn't really like him. That was that really.
What's next for you then? If
Christmas time. So the reason I left was because he let everyone go home at Christmas time, and then it kept me there on my own on Christmas, sitting there in the house on my own. And brought me to Northampton, or I think it was. Left me in the stand, and I just booked the boat while I was sitting in the stand. And texted me mum and dad, said, look, I'm coming home. Didn't really know what I was going to do. I was just, when you're in that sort of moment of rage, you're like, that's enough for me. Like,
yeah. What age are you at this stage? You're probably
19.
Yeah, still quite young, yeah.
Came home then, got the boat home, packed the car up there. Icy. I actually hit the bleeding curve when it was because I was fuming. I think I knocked it offline. I was just driving the boat, wobbling and everything. But yeah, came home then. Rang PFEI. But rang him, got me into a few clubs. Went to Dublin City. I've done a couple of sessions there. They wanted to sign me. Keely.
Yeah.
He wanted to sign me. Then went to Sligo because I think Rob Kelly put my name into Sligo. Sorry, no, it wasn't. It was Steve Bruce put my name into Sligo. So Sean Connors was there. I think he'd done a bit of work for Birmingham or something like that.
Very good, yeah.
Went down there and I trained and I just look, just get a good feeling.
It's a good vibe.
Yeah, and enjoyed the lads. Nice part of the country. Calm. Enjoyed it. I actually just signed a 2-year contract that day.
Yeah.
I spoke to Waterford. They wanted me to go in, and I was meant to go to Cork after Sligo. And then I can't remember about Rovers. But yeah, no, signed there. And then didn't really look back, to be honest with you. 10 years there.
Yeah, it's a good stint, and a couple of highs, couple of lows over those 10 years. Was it around? Would have been around 2009. Am I right in saying where you were in the team? I think a couple of lads had made way, and that you kind of made the centre back position your own. Was that would have been around that time? Am I right in saying that?
It would have been so.
That was the year. That was the year you got to the FAI Cup final. I think you had a couple of injuries that year as well. Did you?
Yeah, I think I'd done my quad that year. In the summer, and then I actually had a broken hand playing in the final. Metacarpal, but I got an injection from the chairman at the time, Dermot, and he was the head anaesthetist in the Pioneer, so he brought the Australians and.
All right, because I was just about to say he's not qualified to be giving out those if he's just a chairman. What kind of chairman is that? That's a bit dodgy.
Yeah, luckily I said that. Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, but and then nobody knows this, but well, my teammates do. But you're not allowed to play with a cast.
That's right. Yeah.
So I had the sling thing.
Yeah.
With the guard there. So I had 2 of them, and I showed the referee one without a cast on it, and I got one made with a cast on it. I put it on and strapped it, so nobody knew.
Whatever it takes, you weren't missing that final.
Yeah, we lost anyway in that one.
That was 2-1, am I right?
Yeah, last minute. That was probably the coldest I've ever played a football match in. It was disgusting, and the wind and the rain, it was horrible.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
Where would that have been played? Tala.
Yeah, Tala. But like before that, 06 I went in. We done okay. I think we got the semi-final that year. It's either 06 or 07. I think it might have been 06. When Seamus was there, I can't remember. But one of the years we got the semi-final against Derry, and we nil all at home, and then we lost 2, 3 or 4 nil away. Mid-table finish then. Following year, then Sean went to Bowes, I think it was. And Rob MacDonald came in, didn't really last long, done a pre-season, and then Paul came in, but my nanny had passed away while Paul came in, and I just texted her, my nanny's funeral, I'll be up in a few days or whatever.
Yeah.
No worries. But went up then, and I think the year before Seamus had come in, we played Killybegs in a friendly, and Sean brought him in from that friendly, and when Rob was there, Rob was trying to get rid of Seamus for some reason, and because I was a right back at the time, and Seamus was a young right back, but I ended up playing centre half in pre-season in one of them games, and I think it was the first game of the season actually, and Seamus played right back, and Leo Tierney was in charge because Rob had left, and I'd done really well there. So then I'd say what happened was then when Paul came in, they spoke about me doing well then, so we left it as is, and then
that was it. You were the centre half then going forward.
Well, so in Blackburn they played me centre half as well, and I'd done well there, and I read the game well, had a little bit of pace. I suppose if I was a few inches taller, I probably would have been a millionaire, but such as that. Yeah. So I was good in both positions, and then I suppose I just suited probably centre half.
Yeah.
As it went on.
Was the game moving in the direction where centre halves needed to be able to play ball as well?
Yeah. When Paul came in, that's when that sort of started with us, and that's probably how we progressed on and started to win things.
You see with that change in football at the time as well.
I probably wouldn't have been like the greatest.
Yeah.
That probably suited you going from like being a fullback then into the centre half. You needed to play a bit, like be able to play a bit of football.
Yeah, but like that, we joke about with Seamus. Like I always say to him, "Look, I got you because he used to play right back and centre half. Now you have to do go forward." And he says the same, but it's just a joke between us, you know. But things happen, and things happen naturally. So, most of the time, to then let people progress in life. And he went centre half. He came in and he got his moved to Everton for 60 grand. So like, I'm delighted for him. He's had a great career and he's been loyal to Everton. He's had chances to go, and you'd speak to him every now and again. He's horrendous on the phone and getting back to you, but you know, we still remain in contact here and there. And
so it sounds as he comes across.
Seamus is lovely, and the family are lovely as well. His wife and his kids and his mum and dad and Rachel's mum and dad. You know, I've met them all. They're lovely people.
I've seen the thing. I don't know if you've seen it. He was he put up a thing about Jake O'Brien, and he was saying that he said he's known him a long time now, and Jake's never once had him up on his Instagram. I said he knows Jack Grealish a month now, and he said he's tagging him and everything. He's gone mad.
Yeah, he put a forward there last night.
Yeah. Very good.
Looking for followers.
Yeah. So come here, you narrowly miss out on winning the FAI Cup final that year. That was 2009, but then you went the next year and won it. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah. So just before that, I remember being suspended in Inchicore, sitting beside somebody in the game, well known, involved, and said to me, "You need to get out of here if you're going to win things." And I turned around and said, No, we're building something here. You can see it coming. Taking along nicely, we're adding. And then I think we got to the cup final then in 2009, and then the following year went on and won the double, the League Cup, EA Cup, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the FAI Cup against Sligo Rovers then.
Did you score in that final? Am I right in saying that?
Which one?
Was it the FAI Cup final you scored in?
No, semi-finals against Bowles.
Oh, it was the semi-final against Bowles, was it?
Yeah. Craig had it. Craig won a few quid off that. But yeah, what was it, 2010? Yeah. So yeah, that was the cup final against Sligo Rovers. I think that was still the record attendance up until last year.
Yeah, and then now that they're doing them as well in the Aviva, that helps as well. There's a lot of incentives there to get tickets sold and
that's
out to the schoolboys and stuff, you know. So
like at the time, I still class us as being more because they're giving away tickets to these ones.
That's the thing, yeah.
Whereas at the time, it was Shamrock Rovers versus Sligo Rovers, a big rivalry. The whole of Sligo was up there.
Yeah.
The whole of Tallaght was there.
Yeah, and it was in Tallaght as well. Was it?
No, it was in the Aviva.
Oh, that wasn't the Aviva, was it, at the time? Oh, very good, yeah. I wasn't sure when that started happening.
36,000 something, I can't remember what it was, 300, whatever, I don't know. But
some crowd for them.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. There's a big thing now. Obviously, there's incentives out there. They're handing tickets out to schoolboy clubs and all that sort of stuff now to get the attendance up for those finals, but that wouldn't have been the thing at the time.
No, at the time, it would have been 20-25 quid a ticket or something like that.
So that's a genuine attendance.
Because it was the two best teams. We probably should. We were close that year. Like, I think we probably should have won it, to be honest with you, but they did, and that's life. But we managed to win the cup. That year I played against United then in the Aviva in the summer. That was the trash in the 7-1, and then the one that everybody likes to go on about my mistake in the first goal. So.
Someone had told me to ask you about that.
Yeah. I'll get out of the way.
Yeah. You can talk about it on your terms.
But it helped me because having played in the Aviva, now we were only put together. We had one day.
That's what I was going to ask. That was my next question. That was a representative team. That wasn't you was up against Sligo. Or Sligo up against United.
That was a mixture. About the best players in the League of Ireland, supposedly, and we came together for one training session and played the Premier League champions that year. Yeah,
that's gone way back. God, talking about United being champions.
Yeah,
haven't done that in a while.
In that game, we marked Wayne Rooney, Michael Owen, Berbatov, and Hernandez in the one game. they're moving. Hernandez is moving and Michael Owen's moving. It was phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
It's different level, like, you know. So it was good. It was good.
Good experience, though, wasn't it, as well? Like, you know,
There was 50,000 in it, and like it felt like the crowd was on top of you.
Yeah.
And like I think that helped me then going into the final then, because I'd already been there in a big crowd.
Yeah, you'd
so
had that.
There was no like intimidation or
So
there was nothing like that. Yeah.
Kept me calm.
10 years at Sligo, as you said. What was kind of the highlight for you in all those years? Would it have been that win in the final?
Been loads. Like, kids have been born down there. Like, got married down there. And then with football was then, the cup final in 2010 was a big one. Winning the league. I suppose all the cup finals were big, like, you know, and then I suppose the captains Sligo win the Champions League, the first ever Champions League game in Sligo. I was the captain then, so like it's been loads of good memories, like, you know.
That must be an amazing experience.
Yeah, Molde, Solskjaer's team. It was good. I think they beat us 1-0 on the night at home. But yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, it's a good experience, that, isn't
it? Yeah, it's been some very good. Like them few years from, you'd say 2009 because, you know, we got to the final. It was a good year. We were still building that squad, and then from 2010 till 2000, and I'd say it's 14, but 13 for me because I done my knee in 13. I was out for the year, and then that's when it started to sort of go downhill. Then
were you just finding it hard to come back after the injury?
No.
Or was it the team itself was starting to come down?
Yeah, a lot of players had left. Like every year we'd win something, you'd lose some of the better players, like, you know, and then you're like, if we hadn't had days in the Europa League, we probably would have qualified, you know.
Yeah, you're saying to yourself, that player didn't go, this player didn't go.
Yeah, like we lost.
Are you yourself getting offers at this stage as well? Like, you must have done over your
there was
time.
A couple that had come in, but to be fair, Sligo were loyal to me, and I was loyal to Sligo. I signed a number of contracts that were lengthy contracts, 2 and 3 year deals, like, you know.
Good to have that security.
Yeah. Now I would have always pushed for 52-week contracts and stuff like that. I just didn't see the point in why would you be paid until Christmas or up until November and then not paid then in the off season where you're trying to recover. But yeah, you have to go out and work to try and find money to feed your family, like, you know. To be fair, Sligo were very good to me, and I wouldn't have a bad word to say about them. Like,
what you scored a good few goals in your time as well for somebody who's a defender.
Fox in the box.
Fox in the box. Is that were you like Arsenal? Like, were you going up for set pieces, doing a Gabrielle on it?
Yeah, I was just I suppose I was just very good at reading the flight of the ball.
Yeah. Or most of them have been headers, set pieces, or would you?
Yeah.
And any screamers from outside the box?
I nearly got one against Ball's top corner.
Really?
Stepping in with it, yeah. I hit this. This was actually the year we were going for the league with Barclough. I think it was the year after we won the league, so 2013. I remember we were a couple of points out. We had to win this game to stay in contention, and it was 0-0. And I think it was the last kick of the game. And I just stepped in and smashed it, and I hit, you know, the little angle.
Yeah.
So I was just like that.
Nearly celebrating me.
Like company, remember companies going?
Yeah. Where'd you want your statue, Gavin Peers?
I already have one.
Must have missed that on the way in.
You wouldn't miss my head. It's the big mountain on the way
in. So obviously, terrific 10 years there at Sligo. How did that sort of come to an end? Was it just a natural progression?
Yeah, I suppose I had the injury in 2013 final, and then got 8 months I was out, done my rehab, got back within 8 months, back playing within 8 months. Jimmy Bell and John Coleman actually came in, and I remember coming back, and I was only meant to play 15-20 minutes against UCD away. Of course, I played 90 minutes, and my hamstring was hanging on me. I swear it felt like a knife slicing it. And played Rosenborg away on the Thursday. We were flying out then after that game, and I got there and they pulled me and said, you're starting right back. And I just went, I can't play that game. Mark and Martin Cam's Pedersen, after being out for 8 months and my hamstring like a knife in it. I kept saying to Gavin Dykes, I said, I can't start against this. I'm telling you now, my hamstring is going to pop. And he goes, you're sure? Tell him. I told them. They won't listen. And eventually then, he must have, because I said to them a number of times, they must have just realised that I wasn't able for it. And they started another, I think they started Keane right back. Was Keane said that? I can't remember who it was anyway. And we ended up beating them 2-1, I think it was. Or 1-0 or 2-1. Norty scored the winner away. And I think we came home then. I think we lost then, something like that. But after beating them 2-1 away, we come back and beat them. It was at home. Typical, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then after that then, 2014 we won the Santa Cup. And then Owen Heardy came in. Is that right?
When's this around 2014, you said? Was it?
Yeah.
2014.
I stayed for another year and I wanted to try and help the team to sort of stabilise. Then that happened, and then to be fair, they offered me another contract, but I just said, no, that's my time's up. It's time to go now. 10 years. I'd done it, my testimonial, and then I went then. And I had great friends up there, isn't it? As I said, things happen at the right time.
Yeah.
Was it, did you go to Glentoran then after that?
No.
Derry, was it?
Pats.
Oh, Pats.
On the year at Pats, yeah. 2016, 2017, I think it was. And then done a year there. That wasn't a great year, to be fair. I actually went back to college that year. That was my first year at college. Started my degree in Griffith College. And I was, to be honest with you, I was probably more focused on that.
Yeah. What were you doing the degree in?
Business management. So yeah, my head wasn't really in football at the time. I remember I was at a game and I was injured and I was watching it and I had a class on and I just stood up and walked and went to the class instead of staying, like, you know.
Yeah.
I'd have never done that.
Yeah, your focus for the first time, it switched somewhere else, like, and it wasn't just solely on football.
Well, after the operation, you take things into perspective and you go, right, this could happen again and I'm done, like, you know.
Yeah.
Wasn't really enjoying football, and then went to Derry and then started to enjoy it under Kenny Shields, and then played in Europe that year actually again, and I suppose a little bit of a split happened in the camp, and then Kenny left at the end of the year, but I got my job in the FAI towards the end of the year and I just went into Kenny and said, look, I'm going to pack it in. I went to get a job offer with the FAI to go in. I said, it's at home. I'm going to take it. And to be fair to Kenny, he said, no problem. Will you stay on? Will you turn up for games till the end of the season? I think it was September. So there was only a couple of weeks left.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, no problem. And then I done a bit of coaching then in the senior team for him. Took warm from that, like, and done the same at Sligo with the underage and that. So I started doing my coaching by that at 21. I started to build through them, and I think I was up to B or A when he was there. I was doing my licence through playing.
So take us back up. So you've gone from Sligo to Pats to Derry. What's next after Derry?
I got my job in the FAI and then started that, and then to be honest with you, I was more or less quitting football, and there was a couple of offers but they were great.
What age are you at this stage?
30, 32, 31, 32.
So still plenty of life left.
Yeah. Just didn't have the
drive, wasn't there?
Yeah. Well, my head wasn't in it. So I done the first year in part-time in college when I was at Pats, then changed to blended learning then for my second year in Derry, and then came home then third year, and then COVID happened. So that's when it was around, yeah. But in the January, so we stopped in 2018, would have been Derry, 18, 19, and yeah, September 18,
18, yeah.
And then I got a tweet over the Christmas time. What are you doing? From an agent. Never spoke to him before, and said nothing. Just probably gonna pack it in. A few offers, but nothing worth doing. Like,
Yeah.
And he said, "Would you fancy up north?" And I said, "It'd have to be like minimum, like part time." Like he said, 1 night a week. So you had to be looking at like what, 400 or 500 quid to make it worthwhile going up, like, you know. So I went up to Glentoran and watched Glentoran versus Newry, and fair, you know, I got a little bit of a buzz there, big stadium, good little crowd, and I just went in, spoke to them, and they offered me a contract. Without even, I think they didn't even see me, and
Were they just going off the word of the agent?
yeah, I think it was, yeah. I think I might have done one session on the Thursday.
Send them a link to your Wikipedia page or something, did they?
I didn't really sure. I just went up to the game, they offered me a contract, and so Brexit was coming in at the time, and so in Ireland you can retire and get 40% of your tax back.
Yeah.
But with Brexit coming in, you had to retire in Ireland, and then with Brexit coming in, that was jeopardising that. So they offered me an 18-month contract, and I said, no, just give me 6 months, because if Brexit comes in, I'm going to be going anyway.
Yeah.
And to be fair to the PFUI, they changed that rule to allow it to be the UK, like, so that helped me. So I said no 6 months, no 6 months, no 6 months. They went, yeah, and then when I got the contract, it was 18 months on it. They're trying to throw away the contracts up there in Ireland, they're trying to, or down in the
fighting for them,
like, yeah.
Just added all those sixes on to make it 18. You know, like.
It's 3 contracts stapled together.
But do you know what? It was one of them where it brought the love back to football.
Yeah.
Because I went up there and I loved it. Like, it was proper, like, suited me. It was go through things, smash people, like,
more physical,
yeah,
would you have said, than the League of Ireland at the time?
Yeah, like I was even getting on, like, so, but like I enjoyed it, and I got fit, and I met some good people. I was travelling up and down with Conor Pepper, and he was mad into the gym, so it got me mad into the gym, and, like, you know, I got into good shape, and at the time it sort of worked out well, because the takeover happened from Ali Poor took over, and money came into the club. Now I didn't get any of it, but the lads, they brought good players in, and then like the sort of, when I went in, it was what was it? It was going into to 2019, wasn't it? January 19. It was to go in and get them out of relegation, and we ended up finishing in the playoff spot, 7th spot. 7th spot allows you to play off against the top.
Yeah.
And then we got to the final, so we nearly got Europe out of that. And then I remember Winley pulls me, because Mick McDermott and Winley came in as manager and assistant manager, and I got on well with Mick at the time, because I think he respected me as an older pro, like, you know. And I would still have conversations with him now and again for advice and that, like, you know. And he remember when he pulled me after that game. We lost 1-0. I think it was 1-0. And he goes, I remember I was leaving to go home. He goes, "Come here, you." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "See you next year." He goes, "You were the first one out the door when we came in. Do you know that?" And I went, "Yeah." So I sort of guessed that one. Because we thought you were up here for a pay packet, but you've been fucking excellent. And do you know what? I go back to the Mark Hughes story with the blank piece of paper.
Yeah.
At least he said it fucking straight.
Yeah,
you know?
you'd rather that, wouldn't you? You just need to know where you stand, especially with something like that. And you mentioned the agent reaching out to you there out of nowhere.
Kennedy, yeah.
Had you ever any dealings with an agent before that?
Yeah, I had one, but like never really needed. I've done my own contracts majority of the time.
Yeah.
You know? You'd speak to people for advice and overseeing it, but
like especially in them early days, like who's advising you?
Sorry,
you know, like when you're a kid.
One in England, Sir Regis. No, I never really wanted them, needed them. Like,
yeah,
I probably need them now more so. Like with the the management side of things or stuff like that to get your name around. But that's, I think if you do a good job, people take notice and they come and ask you, really, don't they?
Yeah. You touched on it there, management. What was the transition then from, did you finish up at Glentoran as a player? Like, was that?
So, no.
Was that a feel now?
This is my regret.
Okay, go on, tell us.
So, COVID happened. We won the Irish Cup.
Yeah.
But COVID happened. And, COVID didn't know what was going on, and you're at home, and
So you were still living in Dublin as well at this stage, eh?
Yeah,
so you're just travelling up and down?
Yeah. Like, it was mad. I was going at one night training and then a Saturday game, and I was loving it, right? I was doing my college and that. And then it ended up becoming 2 nights in a game and 3 nights in a game. Just because I was enjoying it,
Yeah.
And I was getting fit. But it was busy time. Like, before COVID, like, I was like, Monday was work, and then, say, college, work, a Tuesday work, training, Wednesday work, college, and then so on for the whole week. And then you're playing a game on a Saturday, you're coming home. Sunday you're doing assignments, and then you've got kids and all this and that. It's like full on, like, for 3 years, like, but got through it in the end. Got a 1-1, so not bad for leaving school at 15, going back and doing that.
Yeah, fair play.
I thought I would have lost all my brains from heading down football. But yeah, what was it again? Where are we going?
So, like, at what point then are you getting towards the end of your playing career and making that move into management?
Yeah, well, Mick asked me to come in as a player coach towards the end, and I applied for permission with the FAI, but we got Europe then off winning the Irish Cup. But I spoke to Mick. I said, "What's the story? Like, next year?" And he goes, "Yeah, you're doing this and that." And I was like, "All right, are you gonna offer me a contract?" He goes, "Yeah, just let me see what budget I have." And this and that. I was like, "Right." I left a few weeks, and then I got approached by Warren Point, and I got a job in Dundalk at the time, the FAI, doing the player development course, the ETB, and I was like, it's closer to the job, it's handier for me. They offered me 2-year deal at 34, and I was like, and it was decent money for what it was, like,
Yeah.
And I went back to Mick and I said, "Look, what's the story?" "Yeah, like, you have a contract with it." And I was like, "You haven't fucking offered me yet."
Yeah.
Money was.
Yeah.
I need to know, like, is it worth it? And then I spoke to Barry Gray, and he said, "Look," I said, "Look, will you do this right and just submit a letter to the club, say they're going to speak to me?" And he did. And Mick said it to me, "Look, they have to submit." And he goes, "But you're not going there." And I went, "Why wouldn't I?" And he goes, "Because you're not." He said, "I want you here, blah, blah." I said, "But you haven't offered me yet."
Yeah.
Just offer me something, So then, me being stubborn, I just went and signed for 1 point to make it handier for myself.
Yeah.
I remember the phone call. He rings me. "What the fuck are you doing?" I went, "What?" "They're getting a pre-contract through from 1 point. Signed." I went, "I talked to you, but like,
they gave me a contract, you didn't."
Too old in the game here to wait around. I said, like, I know the way football works, like, And he goes, "Can you get out of it?" I went, "How would you expect me to get?" I said, like, can you, like, is it worth the paper it's written on pre-contract?" "Yeah, I think so. He goes, "Ask him when he let you out of it to play in Europe." And I said, "I can't say that happened, to be honest with you." And I said it to Barry Gray, and he goes, "No, I wouldn't risk that because of, like, insurance or injuries."
Yeah.
So I just honoured the deal.
Yeah. What was the contract with 1.2 year, you said, was it?
2 years.
And 34 at this stage?
Yeah, and right beside where I worked.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it was 20-minute drive. So, like, I'm going to there and working, and then after work, then I just drive up, train, and come home.
Just good fit came in at the right time.
Yeah, but I didn't enjoy it.
Really?
Yeah, I ended up slipping the disc in my back, and that was me done then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't really play many games for 1 point, which was, it probably ended on a sour note. I had to have an operation on my back, a shaved disc and that, so it was the worst pain I've ever been in my life.
Yeah, I've had some back injuries myself. I've had a blown disc, and the same, the whole body just out of shape completely, and
yeah, I couldn't
trying to recover for
I
ages.
sit like this. I couldn't lie down. I couldn't, when I drove, I got out of the car, I had to walk like Mr. Burns around to the back of the car and lift me straight me back up. I think I was like that.
Really bad. I think like as far as those type of injuries go, the back has to be one of the worst. Mine went when we were playing a friendly game, actually, just out of the job, just up at McKelvey there in Charlestown.
Yeah.
And I was playing out in the wing, second half. Picked the ball up, went to run down the line, and my whole back just seized. I ended up rolling off the pitch. Got maybe way into somebody else. I was at the drive, and somebody else had to drive me home. Thankfully, I didn't live too far. But when I got out of the car, my back started spasming again. I ended up on my hands and knees, halfway up on the path, halfway out on the road. Had the neighbours coming out, putting blankets around me. Had to call an ambulance and everything. Oh, it was cruel. Like the back.
That's the worst.
Get about
I
it.
wouldn't wish it upon anybody.
You can't get away from it.
For about a week after, it was taking me 10-15 minutes to get out of bed.
Yeah, like I couldn't the only way I could sleep, I know people can't see me, but I had to cross my legs like that, and then I'd take a painkiller and a sleeper, and I'd get 3 hours sleep, that's it. And like, I'm getting up in the middle of the night, I'm trying to lie on the floor out in the sitting room now, because I'm in that much pain. And then, the poofs.
Yeah.
The footstool chairs.
Footstool chairs, eh?
I used to try and sleep on them, like with my knees on the ground and sleep over that like that, because there was that much pain,
Yeah, it's a cruel one, the old back. So, how far into your time at Warren Point does that happen?
Yeah, straight away.
And
pre-season game, I think it was.
Oh, really?
I jumped again, a bit like you, the winger was coming down on, say where your left back is, and I'm running back towards my goal, and crossed, and I turned and jumped, and went like that, and as I done that, just popped mid-air, and I was like, oh my God, what's that? But it was the protruding disc, and it was putting a lot of pressure on my nerve.
Yeah.
So, yeah, ended up getting it shaved.
God.
And that was that then after that, and then...
Do you see out that contract? Does it get cancelled in what way? Is it just an agreement?
To be fair to them, they didn't miss anything. They'd done me rehab, but you always listen to people, and like when your time was up.
Yeah.
I knew. I was sitting there, and when I got back fit after the operation, I was sitting there, and I was like, I don't even want to go on this pitch. So that's where I was at.
How long then after that? So that's your playing career essentially done. You know yourself, you don't want to continue on.
I was coaching at Shells then. I went into Shells 19s, done 2 years there. Stephen Henderson brought me in. Stephen Henderson obviously also brought me into Longford as assistant manager as well. Very, very grateful to him for that. But yeah, I went into Shells, done 2 years there. Stephen left shortly after I came in with Shells. And it was with Willie O'Connor, who was with UCD.
Yeah.
He left straight away, got the UCD job, our system manager job. And then I had it for a bit. And then Wayne Groves came in with me. Well, obviously, when we were at Longford, Wayne asked me, did we need another coach? He came in with us there. I introduced him to Steve, and they had a chat, and then that was that. And then Wayne obviously stayed on then when we left. But yeah, no, and then Hugh Strong then after that. He's at Shells 20s now, I think. But yeah, no, I enjoyed Shells. It helped my development in coaching players, and had 2 squads there, and I'd say 95% of them are probably playing first team football. My idea of it was to go into the 19s age group to be ready for when I went into management in the League of Ireland. Because I knew I was probably going to get a top job straight away. Yeah. So,
earn your stripes.
Know what's coming up through the underage structure, and fair. Brought them into Longford, the majority of them, and they done well. And then even some of the loans we got in from, say, King Moore from Bowes, he came in, done 6 months. He's meant to do the year, got called back, and then in the Bowes squad and kicked on, done really well. Great attitude. Lewis Temple's the same. He came into us, done a stint with us. He signed for, was it Bolton or something? I think he signed for somebody there over in the UK. Had Stefan Negru. He was one. He'd be one that we would have helped develop, a good relationship with him.
This is all Jordan your time at Longford, is it?
No,
while you're at Chelsea?
Yeah. Sorry, mix. Some of them the ones I spoke to there they came into Longford, but Stefan was at Shells, so was Gavin Malloy, and Stefan went to Oxford. Gavin Malloy went to Aberdeen, I think. And then we brought a lot of them into Longford and stuff like that. So Alex Nolan's another one. He's up in Sligo there now.
Do a lot of the lads at that age group, when they're involved with those League of Ireland clubs, the likes of Shells, as you said, is it a natural step for them to go out on loan to the likes of a Longford and to get minutes under their belt, because they know they're close to the first team but they're not getting the minutes? So is it good for them to go out to the likes of a Longford and get more minutes?
100%, yeah. Like Cambridge's perfect example. There was Hemel, perfect example. Two of them came in, done well, went off, got Mills, like, you know. Alex Nolan was at Shells with me at the time, and he was in around the first team, and he asked me what he thought. What, like, you know, UCD came in from our Shells or offer him a deal. I was honest with him and I said, look, for me, UCD is the best place to go for development. You get your education, you play 150 games, you have a degree, and you leave when you get your move. And I suppose that's what we're trying to create here in Home Farm with the DCU link, and that was the whole thing behind it, I suppose. With the way I've came through football and had to do education at a later stage in my career, the whole thought process was to create a pathway for players to come into here and be able to stay and get an education and play. I suppose with the new third tier, come and play 150 games while doing a degree or a master's, and then you have an education and you've played them games, you're experienced in the League of Ireland, and then you progress on if you do, or you stay.
Yeah. You touched on it there, sort of. At what point do you come into Home Farm? Like you spent some time obviously with Longford.
Yeah, I've done 2 years, 18. I think it was something like that. At Longford, I enjoyed my time. Learned a lot. Learned how to manage people. Yeah, a lot. It's different than playing. Obviously, you have to look at so many people. But then we've developed a lot as well. I suppose. It looks like you didn't do well, but when you strip it right back, the budget is small.
Yeah.
And you have to get 25 players off it. Academy structure wasn't probably the greatest, and we still managed to give debuts to 6 players. And then we brought a lot of young players through. At the start, we had to sign people that were injured because everybody was getting snapped up. Because you had Galway, you had Waterford, you got big budgets in there.
Yeah.
Wexford and that. And
what does a club like Longford do in that situation? Because they're trying to obviously carve their own path in what they're trying to do, as you said, whether it's academy structures and all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, you're maybe getting some of these young lads to a certain level, and then the likes of a Galway and stuff are coming around. How do you maintain standards, like for you going in there in a coaching role, or as manager? What's the first protocol there?
I suppose Hendo was the manager, and then he asked me to come in. I would have thought his thought process was because I knew the underage structure from Shells and etc. And being up around it, we trained in Dublin and St Francis. That's the thing about it. Like, you're detached from the club because you're training in Dublin, but you're training in Dublin because you haven't got a big budget, or just quality is probably not there in the academy to bring in. You're trying to attract players from Dublin to play for Longford, so it's quite tough to build that sort of rapport with the club and the community, and in turn doesn't really get big fan bases then.
Yeah.
But I suppose with us, we had to sign injured players that were a little bit had quality, because players are getting snapped up from the bigger budgets. We had to wait then, get them fit, and then. But to be fair, we managed to keep them competitive, even with them amount of injuries. And as I said, we brought in 5 or 6 players into the first team from the 19s at the time. But we brought a lot of young players through from your Shells, your Shamrock Rovers, etc. And we missed out on a good few because people were snapping them up with other clubs. But we managed to put pieces of the team together, and then when we got everyone fit, we went on a big run then, and we were 2 points off the playoffs with 5 games to go, I think it was, after being like so many, like first half of the season waiting on players to get back. You know? And we brought a couple in the window, and then the Belgium club came in for our striker at the time, and I remember I said to Hendo, I said, if you don't let him go, it's gonna not end well. Probably go down tools, like, you know.
Yeah.
And if you do let him go, you can always have the excuse of, well, we lost our striker at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You know? And I would have rather the second one, but I don't think the chairman allowed him to go. And to be fair to him, the team, I think the Belgian team offered nothing, just a sell-on clause.
Really?
And that was that then. I don't think he was happy, and then that was that then. I think we finished 5-6 points off the playoffs then.
Yeah.
But when you strip it back, like with the budget we had, you know, that's probably fair enough where we were, like, you know.
Yeah. And how did you leave it at Longford then? Was it yeah, like
we went the next year, and then again, like, it was tough to recruit. Now we had players, we had Sean McHale lined up to come in, but we couldn't afford to bring him in on loan. But the previous year we had Kane Bourne that came in on loan. He done really well. I got called back then to Bowes, finished off playing, starting for Bowes for the remainder of the season, then went to Galway. Then we brought Lewis Temple in to replace him, and then he done well now. I said he's gone to Bolton, and then Sean McHale done really well when he went to Wexford, and we couldn't afford to bring him in, you know. But then the second year, then we had we sort of focused on top half of the pitch, because we got strong. You
were settled at the back nearly.
We were structured, we had a good base, and then we had a good. Remember, we played Sligo Rovers in pre-season, and we were excellent against them. And Stephen and Glenn Kendall said, "Look, Jesus, you'll be up there this year." We were like, hopefully. And then we just got injuries. Then we were 2-0 up, I think, against Finn Harp's first game of the season. I think it was our clown. I can't remember who it was. And then we ended up drawing or something like that, or losing. I can't remember what it was. And then it just spiraled from that, really, with the injuries and that. And then Hendo just resigned, and then I resigned. I stepped away with him then.
Yeah.
That was that then.
And are you straight out at that? Like, have you got the bug then? Are you kind of looking around going, where's my next opportunity now?
No, I was like, so, because I'm young and I've done my pro license while doing it, so everything I've done on my pro license was around Longford, you know, and I learned a lot at Longford, and thankful for that, like, you know. It was good learning, I suppose, good crisis management, you would say, like, you know.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole setting up tactics to try and beat teams, and I suppose, no, it's nothing really, but the year ago in Waterford were in the league, in our league. We're the only team to beat Galway. We beat them twice, and then we drew 3 times with Waterford, and their budgets were massive, like, you know.
Yeah.
But you're competing with John Coffey, and you're competing with Rennie, you know.
Yeah. You're doing something right. Yeah.
You know. So it gives you a bit of confidence.
Yeah.
To be able to do it, and then I suppose you probably class yourself then as being able to develop players, because players have come in and stayed and progressed on and done well, like, you know. So all you can do is wait, really. And then I walked because it's just, I suppose, it would be my values that, like, for me, if I left, I'm not going to say it depends on different circumstances, but just me.
Yeah.
I felt that he gave me my chance.
Yeah. And it wouldn't be fair for you to stick around.
No.
You were in it together, essentially. Yeah. And when you were leaving together.
And I look at it that I'm helping him make decisions with him, and that it's my fault as well if it doesn't go right.
Yeah.
You know, now they did offer it to us, and I just said, no, I have to turn it down, like, you know.
Yeah.
And then, to be fair, Wayne stayed for a reason that, you know, that's it. He felt that if he stepped out, he probably wouldn't get back in, which is fair enough for him, like, you know.
Yeah. And when you finish up down with Longford, was it How long before you got into Home Farm? That was the next step, was it?
Yeah. Jesus, I don't know. Couple of months. Yeah.
You were saying you seen advertised and you just went for it, or did somebody put your name forward?
A friend of mine just said, "Look, that's coming up there. Would you have any fancy going for it?" Like, you know. And then I was obviously working in the FBO, and I knew the third tier was coming about. So I sort of said to myself, right, I could go in here and sort of look to try and get this towards the third tier, like, you know. And I had the idea in my head of DCU. But then when I came in, they had a link with Genoa.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really finalised. And we had meetings, and I was like, I'm not really sure on it, like, you know. And then I mentioned to the to Brendan at the time, I was chatting to someone, and I said, look, would you, I think a link with DCU would work well here for this third tier, and it would make it sustainable because you're offering scholarships and you're not having to put as much money in. It's a joint venture and it minimises the cost, and you know, you're creating a structure to go from, like, I envisage being able to link with the schools, Contour and Plunkets, and then the new schools that are coming in here at the entrance, to be able to have a structure from primary school all the way through to third level education for our Home Farm players to come in here at 4 years of age and be able to go through school all the way through, while providing football for them at the highest level. And you know, as I said, if we're in the League of Ireland and they play 150 games and they have a degree or a master's, then we've done our job. And I'm quietly confident that money will return because you're developing players from that age that they're staying here.
Yeah.
And they'll be sold on. So I think if you look at UCD, they're starting to be players are starting to move. I think Adam Brennan moved today to Sligo Rovers.
Yeah.
He was a player we had on the DTB course in Cabra there. Great lad, very good player. He'll progress on. I know there's a lot of interest from England as well.
But it sounds like a very sustainable model, and what I like about it as well is, like we all know, probably you more than anyone, how difficult it is to be a professional footballer, regardless of whether it's in Ireland or abroad, wherever.
0.01%, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's so slim. Everybody wants it, you know. But at the core of this model that you're presenting now, to have education as part of that, you know, just that, you know, there's no stone unturned. You know, you have your education, you have your football, you can do both at the same time, all under the one umbrella. So to me, it sounds like, you know, you'd nearly be saying to yourself, why aren't more clubs doing it, and why isn't there more nationwide nearly, you know, because the interest is there. Of course it's going to be, you know, and
I can't answer that.
No, you can't. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there as a hypothetical. Like you're nearly saying, you know, why haven't the bodies that be, the likes of the FAI and everyone else, come together and go, look, we have this amount of people across the nation of Ireland interested in football, and why can't we marry the sport with the education at the same time?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it does. It's look. Hopefully, this is a yeah.
I think the strategy is wherever there's football, there's education. Wherever there's education, there's football. That is the strategy that they're going off.
Yeah, and I mean, we even spoke as well about the transition year projects. A lot of them are going privatised now as well. But even at that, obviously, there's a cost behind it. But even for parents, you know, if you see the interest is there in your child, it's a good investment, you know, to give them the best of both worlds at that age, because that's such a crucial age as well, transition year. Like, are you going to be just sort of dusting in school? And, you know, I don't know about you, but by the time transition year came, I was kind of halfway checked out. Didn't really fancy the
I didn't know it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I think I started and then left them.
Yeah, it was actually compulsory in my school. Yeah. So we had to do it.
Same, but I think I started it and then left in the summer then. Halfway through, was it? Over to Blackburn that time. But yeah, no, I think I'm just passionate about it because I've gone through it, and as I said, I'm an early school leaver and had to go back and do education the wrong way. So I'd always encourage players to do their education because you need it, and even after football you need it, because you finish the football. You finish at 30, 34, 35, 36. Like one or two that can go longer, but like
one or two don't get that far either. You know,
Exactly.
it's a series of injuries.
yeah,
You know, gets to the best of players as
yeah.
well.
But I just mean like that. If you do have a career and you ask yourself, like, you still need education in the long run. Like,
Yeah.
you look at your companies and your PKs now going back to Harvard and stuff like that and doing their education. They're studying to be lawyers and stuff like that. So
Yeah, like even looking in your own journey, like there was a point where you're playing as a pro, but you kind of had it in your own mind, I need to get something else behind me here, and you went and do your course. You know what I mean?
Blessed. So the year I done mine in 2013, it was the last 5 minutes of the FA Cup final against Drogheda, and the week before I signed a 2-year contract or 3-year contract, whatever it was, and I had an offer from Sligo Rovers at the time from Trevor Crowley, and I was very, very close to just leaving and waiting, but loyalty came in and I said, nah, go on, just sign the contract and get it done, and then I done my knee. So like, so close.
Yeah, it's just that's all. Do you know what I mean? You get to these crossroads in life, and you don't even realise that crossroads at the time till you look back and go, God, that just fell into place nicely there. You know, just at the right time.
Things happen at the right time, and things just fall into place.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose for our listeners as well, you might give us just a bit of a rundown of what your kind of day to day looks like as head of football here, and what does that involve? Are you constantly on the sidelines at different age groups? Like how intense do you get with it?
No, wouldn't be intense. I wouldn't sort of micromanage or anything like that. I come in with a strategy really, and to be honest with you, if the strategy didn't work, you probably wouldn't be going as well.
Yeah,
like the link has helped. Now put a structure on the teams and principles of play and this and that and methodologies and all that, and gone through with everybody. But like, I've just put a good structure in place. I've created a development team. People are so over boys 11 side, girls 11 side, small side games academy, and then I'm linking in between the senior team and the academy structure. Align the whole club from 4 to seniors. Have the seniors involved, the underage involved, the seniors, mixing it. Assess teams, doing physical testing, linked with DCU.
So you're more so kind of getting all the coaches in the room and saying, look, this is the plan moving forward. Everybody needs to fall in line. But then after that point, you're just allowing them to do their thing then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you're not.
I do sessions on the pitch and let people watch, or jump in with teams if they want a hand. I've jumped in with the girls, seniors, jumped in with the 15s girls, the 18s girls, in with the men seniors, in with the 18s, in with the 16s, in with the 13s, 12s, all that. Even down to the academy as well. So it's just different levels and how you coach, but it's all about how you deliver. You have to change the way you communicate to the different age groups, and I'm really enjoying the seniors at the moment because we've put together a decent enough team, and we're starting to play well and move the ball well, and we're winning games and it's enjoyable. But then you look at the 16s, they're doing well. The 18s now, Sam Verdon's coming into the 18s. So I've brought in some good coaches as well, like Neil Fenn's involved here, Alan Roy's involved here, James Hussey's involved here, Sam Verdon, got Neil Cohen, Josh Okocha. There's a lot of good people in here, Liam Brady's come in. He's a relation to Liam Brady.
Yeah.
He's over the small side of the game section. And then Darragh runs the academy. Alan Cawley's here as well. So there's some good names in the place and experience.
One thing that I get from sort of your football and journey is all the connections that you've made over the years. Do you feel that plays a big part in it? Like you said, the people that you're getting in, the contacts that you've made over the year obviously plays a huge factor when you're coming in and you're taking on a project like this. Yeah. To be able to go, do you know what, I have the right man for that job in my phone. I can pick it up anytime and have that chat with them,
Yeah, to be fair, I've made I'd be good friends with Fanny through Path the Pro. done a bit with them, helped them out when I finished with Longford. Was doing a bit of one-to-ones for them, group stuff like that. So like kept me taking over coaching because you don't want to go stale, like, you know.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed it. Like it's good, like different, you know. And then he's got a good group of coaches in there, and I suppose when I spoke to him about coming in, he's come in, and I suppose last year our 13s. So the problem with here is at 13s last year we lost the whole team because League of Ireland.
Yeah.
And so my plan there was to have 2 strong teams at that age, or a development team with it.
Yeah.
On a Sunday. So then they don't. The following year, the better players get rated. So
yeah.
We've got 6 at UCD at the moment. But if we had the structure, we'd keep them here, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like Pats took 5 actually last year. 6 in UCD, Drogheda, Shells, Dundalk. There's a lot, like they're going everywhere.
Yeah. Why is it that particular age group? Like what?
Because that's that's when they start in League of Ireland. Then they have a development team. Then they go League of Ireland 14s.
And like, are they just coming in and that age group is gone, and then you start the game at 14? So you're literally getting
team gone.
So they're literally like lads at that age, because they haven't even played 11-a-side for you yet. Then at that point, have they?
Yeah.
They literally do 9-a-side under 12s.
First year 11-a-side.
First year is 13s.
Yeah.
So before they've even kicked the ball from you, they're getting taken.
No, they played the year.
Oh, they played the year at 13s. Yeah. Sorry, it's not as they hit 13.
No,
I get
so
you. Yeah,
it's different seasons. That's the way the league works. So we're winter, their summer football. So
that's right. Yeah.
The way it works, they go in then, and then it doesn't help the window. So the transfer window closes here, and then they have a week to be able to go and pick the best players. And like in the league, we're in a season. Like, you know, we can't do anything about it. But yeah, now there's been loads of clubs on this year.
I heard the head of football up in Kevin's talking about it as well. Actually, he was saying the exact same thing, and it's difficult. Like, and then what you'll find is maybe a year or two might pass, and you get some of these lads then come on back to you.
They come back at 16, so the 2010 age group now, a lot of players have come back in, and we've really loaded that age group here, because we see that as an age group that you can build towards the third tier because of their age now. Yeah, you get them 2 years, get them ready. They can slip into that. Like, I want to have a young team in that third tier. Yeah. But obviously you're gonna have a young team because they're going through college. But you want to be at, like, for me, I see it as having scholarships here, and DC, like, it's only DC Home Farm players that are on it, like, you know. Yeah. So that's the incentive for them to stick around as well then. Yeah. And then obviously with the third tier football, I mean, that's going to be the highest standard of amateur football, essentially, you know. Yeah, well, there's ambitions to go further. There's investors coming in that are heavily involved in the club, and they want to progress to promotion quite quickly. Yeah. And that's the aim as well for all of us, because Home Farm is a big club, and it was in the League One before. Yeah. It's coming up to the 100-year anniversary as well. I think they were 50-year anniversary this year when they won last one the FA Cup. So there's big history here. Like, you look around here, it's huge. Like, it was always the big club. Us growing up as kids, like, if you knew somebody and you were heading off down to Home Farm, like, you might have been playing with them, you know, at River Mountain. You might have been playing them St. Helena's and Finglas, wherever it might be, and you hear they're off. Like, you know, that's it. That they're doing something with themselves. And obviously, because there was the link back in the day, I think it was Home Farm Leeds before that, was it? She only had to look around the real. Yeah. Richard Dunn, Kelly, Stephen Kelly, McPhail, Garden, and loads more as well. They say Kinslet and stuff like that. So, like, just obviously the club has massive heritage, and this is a huge move now, doing this move to the third tier. Mm-hmm. What's that process like to apply for that? Is it just a series of paperwork? Is it? No, we had to do a plan, like an application. So I would have drafted up the methodology and the plan of, like, what way we're going to run it, like how many teams we're going to have, where we're going to have them, are we going to still have it? So I see it as having the grassroots, and then eventually the academy, we're an academy structure, and and a women's section, League of Ireland as well, and obviously the men's side, along with the grassroots, so DDSL, so two separate structures, a bit like the UCD model.
Yeah.
They're linked with Mount Marion.
Yeah.
We'd still have a Leinster senior team as well, but that's probably a long way off because you have to look at promotion, let's say, before you start looking at League One academy structure, like, you know.
The way you said there, you're hoping to still retain a Leinster senior league team. Is that so? The team you have in the first division now, is that the team that's progressing into the third tier? Is that how you have it working? And then another team will come behind them into the Leinster senior.
We'll keep the Leinster senior team and we'll add a third tier team.
Right.
And whoever, like, you might get some of the lads that won't want to go across to the third tier that are happy enough to just stay in the Leinster senior team and play there.
So this is going to essentially a brand new team. Like, you will get some lads moving across, but
get players moving across. Hopefully you'll get the majority, but you'll have some of DCU players coming in as well, and then you'll have, like, for me, this is probably going to take over from the 20s league.
Yeah.
In the League of Ireland, because a lot of young players are going to say, I'd rather go play third tier than playing the 20, so
yeah,
it probably might force the structure of the academy system.
When's the third tier due to get underway? Is it August?
September. Yeah.
Has that process of putting that team together started for you?
It probably won't take place till the summer.
Yeah.
Because the League of Ireland season will start in February.
Yeah.
But there's a team in place there now that's strong enough to compete in it.
It's not a full season, sure it's not.
No, it's only a short season.
Yeah, there's no promotion or anything like this season.
No, it's just a round.
So nearly like a dry run.
Yeah, it's just getting it up and running. It'll probably be 3 leagues of 5. You play each other home and away once.
Yeah,
that's it. And then it's September to probably November, December. Then you have your pre-season then for February to align it with the first division and the Premier Division, and then promotion that season then. So I think the promotion is going to be top of the north section versus the south section to play off against bottom of the first division. Yeah,
there seems to be a good geographical spread as well. The teams you've got CK United, Carlow Kilkenny, Mayo, Kerry, a couple of teams from Donegal. There's good UCC in it as well.
Is it full yet? I don't think it's full yet, is it? I think there's still
15 teams.
Is it 15 teams? I read something the other day that
I think they've put an expression of interest to I think either 18 or 20 that they're looking to go.
Right, okay.
They have 2 teams of 10 or whatever.
When you put that application in and
we have to do like a budget plan.
That's what I was going to say. I'd imagine a lot of it is financial stability as well.
And that was the whole thought process behind the partnership, because you don't really have to pay players if you're giving them a scholarship.
Yeah.
But with the investors coming in, they would want to sort of help financially and then with scholarships. So it would be strong offers like eventually here.
Yeah.
But at the moment it's classed as an amateur league because the way it's going, like, you know.
Yeah. It's exciting times. Is there anything else that's up and coming in the club? Anything? Obviously that's the big one. We'll get that out of the way straight away. But
yeah, there's things going on behind the scenes that I can't really talk about. But no, it's building. There's good positivity around the club now.
How many members? You must be out the door, eh?
There's 35 teams.
35 teams.
Yeah, so
that's a lot, isn't it?
I call myself director of complaints, not director.
You're the one that gets it in the neck, eh?
Yeah, phone doesn't stop me.
You were speaking about the girls side of things. We recorded the podcast there. The first international in a long time here now. There a couple of months ago, Nora from an under 15s girl made her debut for the under 16s or 15s Ireland. Brilliant.
So that was good positivity.
Is there many girls teams?
Yeah, there's one at every section up to 15s, and then we've got 2 18s.
That's brilliant. I was saying that today, we were talking about it yesterday, and we did a profile piece on Lucan United, and I think they had 6 girls teams. Am I right? 6 girls teams, I think, yeah. But I was saying, like my youngest lad, he's only playing under 8 now at the moment, but there's only one girl on his team.
Yeah.
And when they go out and play any other teams, there's usually maybe one girl at most on teams. It's very hard to get the numbers. And they have kind of put the question to me, what kind of happens then when they can't play with the boys anymore? You know, where did they go? And I was like, well, usually the bigger clubs will have the academies, like the likes of this place, the likes of Home Farm. You know, they'll have the infrastructure there in place, and they'll be able to stay with the local clubs up until a certain point.
Yeah. To be fair,
but to keep playing
that team here, 15th team, everybody's chasing them, all the players on it, and they've stayed strong and loyal to the coach Aaron. He's doing a great job with them. We lost Nora to Bohemians, and Hannah, their two twins that was Nora who made her debut. But she's gone to Bows there now. I think I don't know if she went to 17. I think she went to 17. Which is probably going to happen because it's a big attractive sort of club, and you know, it's just a pity because the way I see it is, if you look after them and let them go, and they don't like it, they'll always come back to you.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're starting to get a structure in place that will attract people, a lot might come back.
Yeah.
And that's what we're hopeful.
It's always difficult in it. Like even with a club with the history, the heritage, the draw of a Home Farm, there's still at the moment, because you have that amateur title, that when they see the likes of a Bows or a Rovers or whoever it might be come in, it's just that
branding, isn't it?
It's you know. But look at you along with everybody else at the club seem to have a clear pathway in where you want to take it, and it sounds like there's really exciting times here. I mean, I've been very impressed with kind of what you've discussed here this evening, like and.
But I've had offers to go back into the League of Ireland this year, 3, and I turned them down because I'm enjoying it.
I feel like you're building something.
Yeah. It's a long term project.
You can tell you're passionate about it when you talk about it, and you're properly invested, which is half the battle. I mean, if your heart's in it.
But it's local. Like, I know a lot of it now. It's probably a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because you're getting hounded.
Those complaints are coming to your doorstep.
You're helping the people in the area, like the local people, like, you know, and I enjoy that. And if I can, that was DCU's sort of reason for coming into it as well. They wanted to give back to the community.
Yeah.
So I feel like that. By putting this structure in place and giving back to the community, and we're looking after them, and you want to get it to a standard where you're competing in all ages and really growing the club and providing that structure for them to look after them in life, in football and in education. Like.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. It really is, and it sounds brilliant.
Especially where we are as well. Like, you know, like there's rough areas around. Like, you know, like if you can, it's like, don't mean this in like, but some of the better footballers are from them rougher areas.
Football's always been the great equaliser, and you know, diamonds are made in the rough, as they say. You know,
so like if you can help them, provide them like
scholarship's a huge thing. That's what I mean. That's what I was kind of coming back. Like, as good as these players might be, the percentage of them that actually make it is so slim. To have that education that they can go on and still be successful in life, and like you said, like, regardless of the background, to have a scholarship there, the financial burden isn't there. You're learning, you're playing the sport that you love at the same time. Yeah. I mean, everybody's a winner in that case. And then, like you said, even from the club's point of view, you're getting to keep these players around longer. Yeah. That feeds into your first team aspirations. But also then you're keeping the wolves away from the door, you know, the bigger clubs coming in for the time being until, like you said, your aspirations are to be up there amongst them.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's the case then.
No, definitely, and that's the plan. Like it's going as well as can be at the moment, and just trying to keep growing it and building it. Like, you have some good days and bad days, but seems to be a lot of positivity around it. And, you know, once this kicks off, I think then it'll grow and grow. Like, there's been conversations going on behind the scenes as well with other things, and, you know, if they come off, they'll really try to help it really progress, like, a long way. Like.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing that, and we definitely look forward to getting back down here to do a bit of coverage on the new tour here, and we'll get down and have a look at film. Yeah, bit of luck, we'll be here for the celebrations.
Yeah,
or the FAI Cup final.
yeah, absolutely. Dream big. That's what we're going for.
Yeah.
And you want to to say to us, Gab, before we finish out?
No, we probably waffled on long enough. Forgot what I was saying half the time. I had to ask you, what was that again?
Well, come here, look, we really appreciate you coming on and taking the time out from what's a busy road here at Home Farm. We appreciate you taking the time.
From here, huh?
Yeah, I know, we took you away from your Friday evening at home. But thanks for coming out. We really appreciate it, taking the time, and best of luck with all the future endeavours with Home Farm.
Cheers, lads.
Thanks again.
Very much, Gavin.
Cheers.